Hey friends, I am deciding to opt out of doing a cover this week in observance of Good Friday. My initial plan for this week was to do Physical by Dua Lipa, which is recorded, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys, but I decided to move it to next Friday because Good Friday is actually something that has really become very meaningful in my life, and it's funny because it hasn't meant as much to me as it has in these last few years. I think a lot of times when we think about Easter, we think about Easter Sunday, we think about the resurrection. We're not necessarily thinking about, the goodness of Good Friday and death, really. I mean, the role of death in our lives. And a theologian who I really love, his name is Richard Rohr, and he talks about the divine dance. And that really is like life, death, resurrection as it pertains to our life all the time. I mean, I think about some of the most painful seasons of my life, like seasons that felt like death. On the other side of those seasons, it was like, wow, there was a lot that needed to die. There was a lot that needed to literally pass away from my life. And then from that, it creates space for new life, for growth. And so that's why Good Friday means a lot to me, because I think in some of the darkest seasons of my life that, the ones that you kind of, while you're in them, you're like, how could any good come from this? How could anything of meaning, how could anything of value come from this time? And you really just don't know until the rebirth happens. And I've been so grateful, that even in those seasons that I kind of thought would return void, they actually did forge something in me that made me take more pride in who I am, made me take more pride in my journey. A lot of those seasons of my life really forged an authenticity in me that I'm very grateful for, that I don't think I had before. And I didn't even know I didn't have it, which is why when you think what good can come from this, you don't know what you don't know, And so when the rebirth happens, you're like, oh, well, of course, this makes so much sense. But when you're in it, it just feels like, what good could possibly come from this? So really what I want to say to you right now, someone who watches my music, watches my videos, and took the time to watch this, thank you, by the way, is that if you are in Friday, if you are in death, if you are in destruction, if you are in confusion, disillusionment, not knowing why the hell you're in the situation you're in and when the hell you're gonna get out, if that's you right now, man, that sucks, and that's hard, and that's terrible. First of all, be validated. That's awful. But Sunday is coming. Resurrection is coming. New life, new beginnings. It's coming. I'm telling you, stay the course. Choose what makes you feel joyful, what makes you come alive. Choose the things that in your heart just strike this chord of truth. There's sometimes it's just an inner knowing. There's not any formula to it or way to predict it, but we all know that feeling, when something is just right. Follow those things and you will find Sunday, or Sunday will find you. And whether or not you're a Christian, whether or not you come from a Christian Jesus background, these principles are true. The divine dance, life, death, resurrection in our lives, day in and day out, every day, constantly. Whether it's little things or whether it's life-altering things. We're constantly living, coming up against opposition, things dying off, and then new birth, new life. If you watched this video, thank you so much. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it made you feel maybe you're not alone, because sometimes I think in life when you're going through suffering and pain, it can just have a tendency to make you feel isolated. So I hope that this made you feel like there's someone standing in solidarity with you. And, oh, if you liked this video, please like it. If you want to hear more, subscribe to my channel. If you guys like this and if I get a good response, maybe I'll do more things where I kind of talk and share. Like I said, next week we'll be back with Physical by Dua Lipa, and it's super fun, so please come back and listen to it.